Hi guys, this lesson is on section 3.9, which is the Pythagorean Theorem. It's going to be a pretty fast and simple lesson. There's only two learning targets. The first is finding the length of a side or the hypotenuse. They'll give you two sides and you got to find a third. And then the second target is determining if three numbers that they give you is a right triangle. So the first thing is our picture over here of the right triangle. You can see the A and the B are the two sides. It doesn't matter which one is A or which one is B. They can interchange. The only one that really matters and cannot change is C, which is the hypotenuse. So if they ever give you a right triangle or a triangle with A, B, and C, C will always be the hypotenuse, or the longest side will always be the hypotenuse. Okay, and this is the side opposite of the 90-degree angle as well, or the diagonal. Okay, the Pythagorean theorem is A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared, and you'll see it in as we go in these examples. Okay, so the first part is finding the missing length. You can see I have four different examples up here. So the first one, they give you a right triangle. If they give it to you in a triangle, you can see what's missing. And so the way you set it up is 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to C squared. Or you could go 4 squared plus 3 squared. Either way, again, A and B are interchangeable as long as you know those are the legs on the left side of the equal sign. When I do this, I get 9 plus 16 is equal to C squared. 25 is equal to C squared. And when I get C squared and 25, this is where I have to solve it by doing a square root, because I want just C is equal to. So in order to get C squared down to C, I need to square root it. Okay, and then my length would be 5. And you just do a quick check. If I put a 5 here, that should be longer than these two legs, because we said the hypotenuse should be longer than the two legs. So that works. Okay. In this example, they gave you the hypotenuse and you're looking for a leg now. So your equation is going to be a little different. It's still A squared plus B squared equals C squared. But in this case, I have a B here. So I'm going to put the 12 squared as my A plus B squared is equal to the 13 squared. Okay. When I do this, I get 144 plus B squared is equal to 169. I'm going to minus 144 from both sides to get rid of that. And I'm left with B squared is equal to 25. Okay. And now when I take the square root of B, I get B is equal to 5. And yes, they both equal to 5, but in this case, 5 was your leg, whereas this case, 5 was your hypotenuse. So you can see that the 13 is still the longest side. I have a 5 and a 12, and the 13 is still the longest side, which is good. So my leg was smaller. You can see the two differences between these. In these, the two legs were on the left, and I added them together, and I found the square root of C squared. Whereas in this one, only one side was on the left-hand side of the equal sign, so I had to subtract from both sides, and then take my square root. Okay. The other way the book will give it is they'll just give it to you like this, A and B. Okay, and all I'm going to do is set up your equations for you. I'm not going to solve it. So in this case, it would just be, again, 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to, and I'm looking for C because that's the one that's missing. In this case, I can see they gave me A and C, so I'm looking for B. So I would go 12 squared plus B squared is equal to 13 squared. And yes, they are the same equations this as above, just given to you different ways. So the book will give it to you this way, but in the future you may see something like this with pictures. Okay, and so you find the missing length accordingly. Just be careful which one they're asking for, and do a quick double check as to see, is this one longer, because it should be when I get it, and then is this one shorter than this one, just to do some mental checks that should be logically correct. Okay, over here I have, trying so that you don't see the homework checks just yet. So they'll give you three numbers and say, is this a right triangle? So they say 1, 2, 3. What they're saying with that is, if I drew a triangle, is the 1, 2, 3 a right triangle? Okay, and the way you test it is just simply put it in the Pythagorean theorem. 1 squared plus 2 squared is equal to 3 squared. This becomes 1 plus 4 is equal to 9. 5 is equal to 9, and that is not true. So my answer is no, it is not. In this case, be careful. And in the very beginning, I said the longest length is your hypotenuse. So just because I go 9, 15, 12, you cannot go 9 squared plus 15 squared equals 12 squared. Because that doesn't work, that'd be wrong. Okay, your hypotenuse is always supposed to be the largest number. So be careful in case they come out of order that you put them into order. Okay, make the smallest one, the smallest two to the left and the largest one to the right. And this becomes 81 plus 144 is equal to 225. These two, when you add them together, is 225 is equal to 225. And so my answer would be yes, they are. Okay, so you can see if they don't add up, it's not. If they do add up, then it is, using the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, you will have to read the examples in the book for the word problems. There's a couple of them in there, but you can do those. I think those are good. Those are force problems. But again, the force problems is going to be the same thing using the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so here's your two simple homework checks. Find the missing lengths of both of these. Okay, so the first one, homework check number 1. If A is 8, B is 15, I want you to find the missing length. And homework check number 2, B equals 8, C equals 10, I want you to find the missing length. I do want you to do it on a separate piece of paper so I can see your work. But then I will upload the homework check on Edmodo, and you can go ahead and input those answers. So go ahead, you can go ahead and do those on your own. I trust you. But I do want to see the work, so don't lose the work. Okay, thank you. Hope you guys do good. Take care.